This coin contains exactly 5 ounces of silver. But here's something that most stackers never stop to think about. If silver doubled tomorrow, this coin probably wouldn't double in value. In fact, it may not even come close. Now, compare that to a 5-ounce generic silver bar. That bar will almost certainly double. So why don't they behave the same? Today, I want to introduce you to what I call the two market theory, because once you understand these two markets, you'll understand why some premiums last forever while others slowly disappear. Good morning, it's today again. Welcome back to Joseph's Reserves. I'm Joseph, and I store 20% of my income in the form of rare coins and precious metals. Before we get into the video, I just want to say congratulations to Barefoot Billy for being the first to comment on yesterday's video. Thank you so much for your support. Today, I want to talk about where a coin gets its value. Of course, there's the silver value, but there's also a market value around numismatic premiums. And we're going to define the best we can the difference between bullion, semi-numismatic, and a full numismatic piece. Alright, we'll start with just a high premium numismatic piece. This is an American Silver Eagle. It's not rare. They were minted in the millions. Yet it consistently sells for more than just generic silver. And why is that? It's because people trust it. Everyone recognizes it and everyone wants it. Its premium belongs to the entire series, not just a specific year. If silver was $50, maybe an Eagle will sell for $65. And now if silver jumps to $100, does that Eagle become $130? Usually not. It might trade for about $110 to $120. The premium didn't disappear, but it is compressed. As the silver value increases, the premium becomes a smaller percentage of that total price. And that's perfectly normal. Bullion will get its value primarily from the actual metal content. These are 1 ounce of pure silver, so the value will move up and down, mostly with the silver price. Of course, they might come up and down with small movements in supply and demand, but these premiums are normally seen across the entire series. We're not talking about the specific year of Mexican Libertad like I'm showing here, although these are the 1982, which is the first year edition. But because these were so mass produced, even these have a pretty set high premium price that will move up and down with spot price. Normally, these high premium items are fairly understood within the entire market and therefore get a pretty strong buyback rate as well. But the key concept here is that that buyback rate and the high premium is attached to the entire series. I'm not talking about a specific year of Mexican Libertad or a specific year of American Silver Eagle, because then it would separate itself from just the regular high premium bullion product. And before we move to the next category of semi-numismatic coins, we have to talk a little bit about what a numismatic coin is. These coins get their value from history, lower mintage, condition, and overall collectible market value. And a semi-numismatic coin is one that dips its toe in both markets. It's not simply just a high premium bullion coin, but it's also not a highly revered numismatic coin. For example, look at this 2006 5-ounce Proof Libertad. This Proof Libertad has a mintage of around 1,000. And I say around 1,000 because there are a few different official records, some saying 700, some saying 875, and one saying 1,000. So we'll just keep it at 1,000. This coin gets a small numismatic boost in value because of the finish, because it's a proof coin, also because of that low mintage and impressive size. But this is where many collectors get into trouble. They see a coin with a huge premium and assume that that premium will always grow. But premiums don't grow the same rate that spot does, and sometimes they shrink. This coin has recently sold on eBay for up to $1,000, even at the recent low price of silver around the $60 mark. So that begs the question that if silver was to regain $120 per ounce, do you think this would now be a $2,000 coin? No, it rarely works like that. In many cases, a coin like this might just maintain that $1,000, and if anything, it might go up a little bit, but it even could go down as collectors lose interest in a coin like this. The fact is that Mexico makes Libertads every year. They make Proof Libertads every year. They make 5-ounce Libertads every year. They even make reverse proof 5-ounce Libertads every year. So while this is a low mintage, the entirety of the series will continue to grow and draw more attention away from this coin. In these semi-numismatic categories, it is possible for that collector demand to move away from a coin like this, even while silver spot price is moving up. And we've actually seen this pretty recently. For years, many common date pre-33 US gold coins carried large collector premiums. People thought of them as almost entirely numismatic coins. Then the gold price explodes even higher, and suddenly the intrinsic gold value caught up to those selling prices. Today, many common date examples trade for only slightly above their melt value. The collector premium didn't disappear overnight per se, it was simply overwhelmed by the value of the gold itself. And that's a very important lesson. Even collector premiums can be compressed when the underlying metal moves dramatically. To compare that, here I have an 8 reales. As you can see, there's a sticker marking it $550. And even in this condition, it being cleaned or this corrosion removed and damaged with an XF details, it does demand that premium. Next to it, I have a 2 reales that was actually salvaged from a shipwreck. These are truly numismatic coins. The spot value, the silver that's contained in these coins, does not affect the price whatsoever. In these cases, the collectors aren't buying the silver. They're buying the history, the rarity, the condition, the provenance. The silver has become almost irrelevant. And ironically, this is what creates a completely different kind of stability. A true numismatic coin may not benefit much from a rise in silver price, but it's also not as vulnerable when silver falls. It's even possible for collector demand to increase while silver price is declining. And that's because the collector market and the metals market are two totally different forces. So ultimately, we have the silver metals market and we have a numismatic collector's market. The semi-numismatics are coins that fall somewhere in between. They might be hyped right now, they might even go up in value later, but it's really somewhat of a wild card. So these types of coins, I would just say to practice some extreme caution when purchasing. Understand that the premiums may not track with silver price. But of course, this is not financial advice, so feel free to buy whichever coin you like. Tell me down in the comments, I'd love to hear, do you think semi-numismatic coins are worth the extra premium, or would you rather stick with regular bullion? As always, if you like the video, go down and hit the thumbs up button. Go into the comments section to start a conversation or continue one. Share the video with someone you think may need to hear this, and subscribe if you haven't already. To my long-term subscribers, thank you so much for your support. It is much appreciated. And make sure you go to my website at josephsreserves.com to check out my merchandise, coffee mugs, the zip-up bags, and even my It's Today Again coffee. But most of all, thank you so much for watching. And just remember, every ounce adds up. So no matter how small, just keep stacking.